Hi. Good morning. I just wanted to start off the bat with just closing our eyes and just taking 15 seconds. 15. And as you close your eyes, you don't have to, you don't need to do this at all if you don't want to. Just taking a moment just to notice your breath, the inhalation, the exhalation, where it's moving in through the body, where you're holding it, seeing if you can let it move and open up anywhere. But I'm going to ask you to notice your attention. So the attention is how you are observing and noticing your breath. So one big one together, inhaling and then exhaling. Okay, let's do this. Open up our eyes. So as Karen said, we're talking about chaos, rapid change. You guys are change makers. Those ones making decisions day in, day out, moment to moment, all the time. What are you considering? What choices are you making? The pressures of that. It's a lot. It's a lot. So essentially what you guys are doing now is reorganizing our disorder, right? This moment of rapid change. And the one thing I want to talk about is perspective and broadening your perspective. How much can you actually hold in your awareness or in your attention in order to consider for those decisions that you're making all the time, moment to moment? I remember when I was thinking about coming and talking, I remember about a visit I had with my friend Mara Hoffman. We grew up together in the same hometown, and when we landed in New York in Chinatown in the early 2000s, well, she was here already, she invited me to her house. And I went into her apartment up the stairs and winded around the corner, and it was like dark paneled walls, and it had one of those awesome like mural wallpapers of like a tropical island. And then I see like all these boxes. I keep hearing her voice. And I'm trying to find her, but there's like boxes and piles of fabric and like clothes and just like objects, and I can't see her. And I'm now in like this labyrinth of like fabrics. And in the middle is Mara sitting there, kind of just like pulling stuff and grabbing it. And I'm like, there she is, Mara, the creator, the one who is just always just in the middle of chaos, pulling it all together and making something that she sees out of all of these things. And at the same time, I also saw, around the same time, I saw this special on CBS, on Good Mornings, the Sunday morning show. There was a segment on called Battling Clutter, and it was talking about executives and their desks. Basically, if you have the perfect mess on your desk, you're a more productive executive. If it's too organized, your desk, you're not as productive. So to me, they ended this show with this amazing quote, and it's from Albert Einstein. And the quote is, if a cluttered desk is a sign of a cluttered mind, then what is an empty desk? Right? And oftentimes we think of meditation as something that we have to empty our mind. We have to be focused. We have to get rid of everything and have this super like clean space in order to create. But ultimately, that's not meditation. If this is a metaphor for meditation, it really is that it starts to become about our attention. What are we focused on? What is our intention engaged with? Right? And in our meditation practice, when we have this attention, we start to realize how we can start to expand our intention, and we can start to broaden our perspective this way. Because the more you're able to keep in your attention, the more it broadens, the more you are able to see and make choices and discernments from it, like picking and choosing. So we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a practice right now so you can see how this is experienced inside of yourself. So if you want to go ahead and put both feet flat on the floor, you also don't have to do this. Don't feel like you have to sit here and close your eyes. So with your feet flat on the floor, you're going to start to let your eyes come closed. And I'm going to ask you to notice your attention. What are you engaged with? Your thoughts, where you came from, where you're going, doesn't really matter. See if you can bring your attention to your breath. And in the breath, and as you're watching the breath, see if you can start to notice all the sounds in the room simultaneous. So just letting your attention start to broaden, include the breath, include the attention, include the sounds in the room, people walking, the person next to you breathing. So now your attention is engaged with the breath and the sounds at the same time. And see if you can notice your thoughts. So your attention is noticing the breath, the sounds, and the thoughts. So as you're noticing the breath, the thoughts, the sounds, see if you can notice something a little bit more subtle. And your sense of stillness. Something a little quieter. And whatever is there is perfect. Wherever you're at, if you're just in the thoughts, that's perfect too. So breathing, thinking, hearing, just allowing your attention to hold a little bit of all of that right now. Let it all be there at the same time. No fighting or changing it, just letting it. See if that's something a little bit more still. If it just starts to get a little bit bigger, to hold all of it, that little sense of stillness, that little sense of quiet, if it can just hold the breathing, the sounds, the thoughts, the sensations. And then when you're ready, you can just allow your eyes to slowly kind of come open a bit. Yeah, just like Karen said, I mean, there's lots of moments. And as much as we're able to come to each moment knowing that we have everything that we need, and we can find practices that broaden our perspective so that we can hold more and more. You can just trust those decisions more and more. Thank you so much for letting me be here and share my practice with you. Thank you.